Here we're going to give you an overview of the ASME GD&T Certification Test, otherwise known as the ASME Y14.5 GDTP Exam. While it's great that there is a certification available for GD&T application, the information about the test is not very clear, and it's confusing on where to go to find what is on the test and how to sign up. With these exam prep lessons, we're going to show you how you sign up for the test, and, more importantly, what's on the test, so that you can go in and make sure that you are fully confident going into this exam. So first of all, what is the ASME GD&T certification? Well, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers are the governing body of the US version of the GD&T standards, known as the ASME Y14.5. This entire course is built around this single standard. Starting with the 1994 version of the Y14.5 standard, the ASME began a testing program to recognize proficiency in the interpretation and application of their GD&T standard. This is probably one of the few certifications the ASME offers, and is probably the most sought-after accolade they provide. The ASME GD&T test is known as the ASME Y14.5 GDTP, which stands for the Geometric Dimensioning and Tolerancing Professional Certification. Now, we need to tell you that GD&T Basics and Engineer Essentials is in no way affiliated with the ASME. We're merely providing recommendations and information about this ASME GDTP certification from our own professional experience. Our instructors have taken this test, and we wanted to share our experience of taking the test with you, as well as give you a guide so that you can take it yourself. Now, there are two versions of the GDTP exam. The first is the GDTP Technologist Certification. This shows that the individual has interpretation knowledge of GD&T and would be able to clearly understand concepts used on engineering drawings. The second, advanced certification, is known as the GDTP Senior Level Certification. This shows that the individual has full application knowledge of GD&T and would be able to apply calculations, designs, operations of manufacturing, or inspection techniques professionally. In the 15 years between ASME standards, there have been quite a few different tools and clarifications added to the ASME standard. The core application of GD&T remains fairly similar, with a few small but important changes. Here are some questions that were on the 1994 exam but are no longer applied. The first was identifying related standards to the ASME Y14.5. Originally, in the 94 exam, you had to identify what specific standards did that were somewhat related to the ASME Y14.5. This was a little unfair though, since you were taking the test only on this specific standard. Next, you also had to identify what changed from past standard versions. This was a little silly because why would you need to know what was on the 81 standard if you're taking the test on the 94 standard? The MMB and LMB concepts still existed, but were referred to as the maximum or least material condition boundary. They simplified this in the 2009 exam. The 94 exam also had far more text-based and somewhat ambiguous questions. There weren't nearly as many graphical questions as there were on the 2009 exam. And finally, the senior level test for the 94 exam contained very little information from the general GD&T or Technologist Level exam. Now in the 2009 exam, you have both advanced concepts and the fundamental concepts that you have to understand. However, in the 94 exam, it really only focuses on the more advanced concepts, like composite tolerancing and maximum material boundary. Since the 2009 standard had some major updates, the 2009 exam was also updated. Keep in mind, this exam was only just released back in late 2017. These changes included the unilateral and all-over profile modifiers, the MMB, LMB, and RMB concepts that are now clarified. You can now indicate a specific MMB or LMB boundary size. We have the new Datum translation symbol. You can use multiple features as a continuous feature. The independency symbol was added and clarified to remove rule number 1 if needed. Flatness could now be applied to a planar feature of size. Originally, you had to do this with straightness. Complex and irregular features of size were also defined and clarified in this standard. You could define custom degrees of freedom in your datum reference frame, or define your datum reference frame as a custom frame itself. And finally, you could use movable datum targets. Now, this is not the complete list, but these are a few of the major changes that have been updated since the 1994 standard. If your company uses it, the 1994 standard may be the best option to get certified. However, if you're looking for the most up-to-date and complete knowledge of modern GD&T use, we definitely recommend going with the 2009 certification.